Hi everyone, how are y'all doing this beautiful Friday? I hope you're all remembering to continue to wear your masks so you protect others and being considerate of others and their health. Be aware of social distancing and wash your hands. I'm going to take my mask off now. So today I'm very, very upset, depressed, and disappointed. Um, the rioting that's occurred in Minneapolis, it's not a good thing. It's not a good way to protest, but we need to recognize the pain that people feel. The pain of being ignored for years, the frustration that boils up because people don't listen. And the gasoline that President Trump has thrown on the fire and referring to these people as thugs. But that's only the president's the hate you give comes back to you. The hate you give comes back to you. So remember that, Mr. President. The hate you give comes back to you. African Americans in this country have suffered for years. Ahmaud, Christian Cooper, Breonna Taylor, Mr. Floyd, all of the ones that are brutally killed without appropriate, I'm not going to say retribution, but punishment for those who are in the wrong. The president said that the mayor of Minneapolis needs to control things. Well, I think the mayor had a very good start. I think that the prosecutor could have probably prevented a lot of this had he or she charged the officer with his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck. The evidence that we've seen and that he or she has seen definitely shows that something was wrong. To me, there's more evidence there than Mr. Floyd had by trying to pass a $20 bill that may or may not have been counterfeit, that he may or may not have even known that he had, that somebody else could have given him. But he's dead for that. That officer's alive. That officer should be in jail and should be charged. Until we all in these police departments decide to address their institutionalized racism, this problem is going to persist. And it needs to be addressed, and the president should be addressing that issue. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, police departments across the country are infiltrated with white supremacists and racists. So think about that. When you're being arrested by somebody who does not consider you their equal, they have a gun, they have force behind them, and it's a terrible thing. It's a police state, something that I would have never believed that we had in this country when I was growing up. But it's been a reality among African Americans in this country for a very long time. I remember when I was in junior high school and the race riots were occurring. I didn't really fully understand what that was all about, but it was basically related to the lack of civil rights that African Americans were given and this was their way of bringing it to everybody's attention. And at that time, the spin was as to how bad these people were. But now, the more that I've read about the history of African Americans, I understand why they were so frustrated. You know, if you read about Malcolm X and what he really wanted to do, he wasn't a terrorist as he was portrayed. The Black Panthers were not terrorists as they were portrayed. It's terrible, the things that I used to believe. But you have to be educated and learn what has gone wrong with our country and what is wrong with our country. I have some very good friends. My daughter is biracial. One of her best friends, whose mother died in 2009, and we are, I don't know, I consider us part of her parents. She calls me dad and my wife mom. And we're very close to her, and she had a very impassioned plea about all of this. My daughter is very upset about all of this. My best friend from residency on, his son-in-law grew up with these fears, and he has 2 boys. And now I really see what the fears are for those 2 young men as they get older, and what they may have to deal with when they drive in certain areas, and the fear that they could have if they get a ticket. I had no fear of ever getting a ticket. I used to get mad because I got a ticket. I wasn't afraid that I would get hurt. I was stupid. It's just not fair. So there will be protests. There's going to be a protest in Kansas City on Sunday at the plaza, on the fountain at the plaza. I'm going to try to be there. I would hope that you would try to be there to show your support. It's going to be a nonviolent protest. We want change. We need change. And we need a president to shut up and show support and recognize that there are big problems that need to be fixed. The mayor should just fire every police officer in Minneapolis and make them all reapply for their job with screening as to whether they are racist or a white supremacist. And they should definitely put that within their codes of hiring and not hire anybody that has that type of history. Probably other police departments around the country need to do the same, and they need aggressive training. The mayor did that. I don't think there would have been burning and fires, but certainly I think that it would have helped for that police officer to be in jail. So I know I'm rambling on and on a bit, but I'm really, really upset. Really. It hurts. I hurt for my friends, my daughter, my daughters. I can't stand it. It's got to stop. We have to do what it takes to stop it. So, thank you for listening.